My next guest, he is a former mixed martial artist. He was known to everybody by fellow UFC and MMA fans as he competed in the Ultimate Fighter 15th edition, the live edition. Please welcome onto the show, Mr. John Cofer. How you doing, John?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. How you doing?
Dude, been good, man. I'm glad to be able to get you on, man. Finally, our schedules aligned perfectly, so it worked out for us, man. So, excited to have you on, man.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Looking forward
Awesome,
to
man.
it.
So, how have you been?
I'm good, man. I'm sure life's probably a little different from my fighting days, but I'm getting used to it now. I'm almost eight. It's hard to believe. I'm almost 8 years removed from the fight game now. So just a normal average Joe working and living in Southwest Montana now.
How was your 2020, John? Happy New Year, by the way.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Actually, 2020 was a pretty good year for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I almost hate saying that. I hate saying that out loud. I know it burned a lot of people, and it was a crummy year. But you got to remember, I almost live in a bubble. I'm in Southwest Montana. The town I live in is like a population of 300. There's some nearby bigger cities, of course, but the whole COVID thing almost hadn't even affected me one bit. Work has still been good. I work in construction now as a builder contractor. So actually the COVID thing almost made the building world boom.
Oh, really? So business got better in your field?
Yeah. I mean, I know it got better for a lot of people. I think I just stayed the same. We were already pretty busy. And I reckon when COVID first hit, we might have slowed down a little bit, but it's been ramped up ever since. So
okay,
we're still busy.
So let me ask you this then. So you said right now, 8 years removed from the fight game, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, man, I'm just gonna, I guess we'll be real blunt about this. So, do you miss the fight game? Why'd you leave the fight game? Because you got some good steam, Ultimate Fighter show.
Yeah.
So why have such a normal life, calm life right now than over the fight?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely miss it. Yeah, I miss the hell out of it. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've thought about going back to it. Not so much now, but after I kind of retired, I certainly did, and I had the ups and downs with it all. Like I guess probably a lot of athletes, but I think I was just super burned out. I dropped a couple fights in the UFC, and they released me in 2013, 2000 something like that. I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, I think it was December. It was in 2012 or 13, so probably 2012. I think I took that pretty hard. I fought one more time in a smaller organization down in Tampa. XFC was the organization I fought for, and I even had a contract with Titan. Titan was kind of getting big at that time, and there was talks of me going to fighting in Japan, and I don't know. I think I was just so burnt out on a lot of things, and the money wasn't there anymore. Of course, I could have worked my way back to it. That was what maybe I should have done in hindsight, but I don't know. I think it's just I was just burned out on the sport. I've been wrestling since I was about 5-6 years old, and just training day in, day out. The ups and downs of the sport is hard on a lot of people. I think it was for me. But at the same time, it was awesome. I loved my experience fighting, all the relationships I made, the traveling I got to do with it. It was bar none for sure. So yeah, I certainly miss it. But yeah, I think when I left, when UFC released me, I think I just I fought one more fight just to get some extra cash and had a little money in the bank. And I took off to Europe for a while, and I just hung out overseas.
I get you, man. So now that we, went straight to that one, so it's been 8 years since you fought. Now you were known by a lot of audiences as a competitor on the Ultimate Fighter edition. This was actually the live edition. So you were in a very unique situation. Taking it back for my audience here who are MMA fans, the Ultimate Fighter is basically a competition where it's a reality show. You're stuck there in the house 6 weeks, cameras in your face and everything. And that's how the normal format works. You know, you get coached by 2 different fighters. They pick separate teams, and every week there's a fight. Your situation was very different, John, because you were in the first and only, I believe, it was the live edition. So pretty much you guys were there for not 6 weeks, but 13 weeks in the house.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, it was something like that. I know we spent a couple weeks in the Palace Station Hotel and Casino leading up to all that. So it was like 2 weeks in a hotel room, 13 weeks in that house. I mean, it was almost, I want to say it was, I don't, somebody else might be able to fact check me because my memory is shit, but
Yeah.
It was something like 15 weeks for the whole duration of it all.
Yeah, see that. So that's pretty insane. So other editions it's 6 weeks. You were there for, you know, more than double the time there as it usually is. And I'm imagining it's the same thing, you know, no contact with the outside world, you know, no TV, it's just training, correct?
Yeah, I mean, day one, they took our cell phones, and that was it. No contact with family, friends, nothing. But I don't know, that didn't bother me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it bothered a lot of people, though. I mean, and is it safe to assume that? I mean, that's, you know, 13, 15 weeks, no contact outside.
Yeah.
I mean, it's double the time, correct?
Yeah.
Was there,
I mean, I don't know.
What was that?
It was what? No, I'm saying it was all right. I think we all had a good time with it. I wouldn't do it again.
No, so what was there a time though in the house in the middle of this thing where you felt like you were going crazy because of either the cameras or the extended amount of time that you were away, or really just being around a bunch of different strangers that you could potentially be fighting? Was there a sense of awkwardness for you, John?
No, I mean, every now and then you might have beef with someone on the other team. I think me and one feller, Chris Tickle, I think we argued back and forth a little bit, but you know, at the end of the day, you just got tired of it. Yeah, you were ready for it to be over, of course, but at the same time, you kind of try to be in the moment. We did enjoy it. I think the crew that was a part of that show, and I would assume it's like that for all the other shows, the crew that was there was awesome. It was an awesome crew. The UFC, they took care of us on that show, and so you didn't really go without anything, that's for sure, other than maybe contact to the outside world. But it was fun. We cut up the whole time and made good friends out of it. Some of them I still keep in touch with.
That's awesome, man. So you fought Vink Patel, correct?
I did, yeah.
That was one hell of a fight. It was a war. There was no beef there between you two, correct?
No, not that I'm aware of anyway. But I mean, I didn't like talk to him. We weren't like buddies.
Of course.
But I had no qualms with him and don't to this day or anything.
Yeah, so it was definitely a very tough fight. Unfortunately, spoiler alert if you didn't watch that season. Unfortunately, you lost in that round, in the third round submission.
Yeah.
It happens. Again, hell of a fight on there. Can you tell me what you learned the most through that experience there on being the Ultimate Fighter? You were trained by guys like Uriah on that show, Dominic Cruz, who, two guys that, are pioneers in a sense in that sport, how they grew up in that division, and absolute studs nonetheless. What did you take from that experience?
Gosh, man, it's almost hard to say because I've almost removed that whole part of my life.
Okay.
I definitely grew as a fighter in a short amount of time. I think just having the exposure to so many different coaches. I came from great coaches too, though, so it's not like I was at a loss for great coaching. But it was cool to be able to kind of see it from a different perspective. I'd kind of had the same coaches for most of my career. So just having that kind of talent in a room all at once, is bar none. And I think for any fighter who doesn't have a room full of just killers and studs, if you really want to be successful at this sport, you better go find them, because otherwise you're just going to get thrown to the wolves. It's a tough sport, and you got to train every day, 3 times a day, twice a day with the, you know, the quality of coaching and guys that you have trained with, it, you know, will just make you a better fighter. Not to mention open up doors for you that maybe a smaller gym can't open up for you, you know.
What was it like training with Uriah? Were you a fan of any of these guys going into the show?
Oh, of course. You know, I think Uriah I was always kind of a fan of Faber. You know, Cruz is someone I'd always seen fight. For some reason, I kind of, in my head at the time, I don't know why, but I wanted to be on Faber's team. I think Faber comes with sort of a different attitude in terms of like he trains hard, busts his ass, but at the same time, he likes to have fun and takes it serious, but, you know, comes off as like I'm not sure how to put it into words, but he likes to have fun, and he's
loose.
Yeah, it's a cavalier attitude, but like a very serious like training regimen, if that makes any sense, you know. And I like that. It's like you want to be able to have fun with it. It's a brutal sport, and it wears on you. You know, you go train. It's probably why I walked away from it. I was just sick of the kind of ups and downs, the stresses of it, and at that time in my life, I think I was just ready to be done with it. I mean, if the UFC had never released me, sure, I would have kept fighting. The money will keep you around to do anything, but I don't know. I think when I walked away, I was 30 years old. Wrestled from 5 or 6 years old, however old you are in first grade through college. Wrestled in college, and then pretty much went right into like fighting. So I still train a little bit. I do like jiu-jitsu. I jump in some gyms here and there. I definitely don't train serious. I like to say that I would try to train a little more serious than I have been, but at the same time, I get to get in there once or twice a week and just roll around with guys, and, you know, that's it. I kind of enjoy this side of it now.
Yeah. Now, so what was life after you came on the show, though, while the episodes were airing for you?
Well, in my show that the episodes aired live. So
after what was life after that show though for you? Like as soon as you got home, what was that experience like? I mean, I imagine you get your phone and you know you have a crap ton of messages. I'm assuming a good amount from people that you hadn't talked to in a while.
Yeah, I mean, you get a ton of, you know, the people you grew up with and the people in your community. Of course, in my case, everybody was extremely supportive, so that was kind of cool to see everybody reach out and do that, whatever. You know, you definitely had your shit talkers. That kind of stuff never really. Oh yeah, people love just keyboard warriors, you know. So I don't know. It was for the most part, I felt like it was pretty normal. When I got off the show, you know, I moved to California so I could train with full time with Faber at Team Alpha Male. So that was a ton of fun. It's funny. Like I said, I walked away from the sport a long time ago, so I hadn't even talked about it in forever. You know, I completely just got out of it. To be honest with you, you know, it was just, and it has its pros and cons. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, life wasn't much different when I got off. I mean, you had a little more popularity, I guess, but you know, who cares?
Yeah, I get you. So, any other interest for you after you know you retired from the sport of MMA for you?
Oh yeah,
I mean, I got busy.
Yeah, so I mean, since I've been out here in Montana, you know, I'm in the woods a lot. That's part of why I moved out to like such a rural place. I started hunting. This is my first year hunting, actually.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it last year, but I was an out-of-state resident, and I wasn't going to pay that much money for the tags. Montana charges a ton of money for an out-of-state resident tag. But so this year I was in the woods a lot. I got into bow hunting. I didn't get an elk this year, you know, but hopefully I'll get one next year. And I just hike a ton. This didn't even make sense to a lot of people, but I shed hunt a lot. So basically it sounds so dumb, I know. Animals, we call it shed hunting out here. And you walk 20 miles into the back country or however far you feel like going that day, or sometimes camp over, and you just look for antlers. Elk and deer, they drop their antlers. And it's not so much about just finding antlers. It's just being out in the woods. You know, I like to get pretty far in the back country where a lot of other people don't normally go. And we'll camp out there. I mean, you know, we got some pretty good cold weather gear, but if I'm not working, I'm way back in the mountains, and it's kind of become my favorite thing. And but I do a lot of trail running. I've run some marathons. I got another marathon coming up here in about 2 months. So it's not like I just, you know, just because I wasn't competing professionally, I didn't just quit training for something. I feel like I'm always training for something. And so, yeah, I'll run that marathon here in March 7th. And leading up to this, you know, I did a bunch of marathons. I did an Ironman a couple of years ago. It's like 140 something miles. I did one just as a bucket list. It was a swim, bike, run thing.
And you say it so casually.
I mean, I don't know. The way I look at it, all that stuff, they take a long time, but you don't have to cut weight.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, did you have any issues when you were cutting weight though? Now that you mentioned that. Like how intense was that?
I mean, so when I was on the Ultimate Fighter, I was in there at 155. That was actually a weight class above what I wanted to fight at and what I did fight at.
Yeah.
Granted, throughout my whole career, even leading up to the show, I fought some fights at 145 and some at 155, but I would say 145 was definitely my weight class. And, you know, prior to getting released, I had talked to the UFC about dropping down a weight class, and I ended up fighting one more time at 155, in which I lost that bout. And then that was kind of the end of my UFC career. So I never even got to the next fight for the XFC was at 145. And like I said, that was my regular weight class. To make 155, I didn't have to do anything. I didn't cut much weight to make 155. But 145, you know, was a little more intense. I was coming down from about 170, 175.
So you'd rather run any marathon than have to cut some weight.
Oh man, I'd rather crash my truck into a telephone pole than cut weight again. And again, I did it day in, day out with college and with fighting. So that's the only thing about the sport I think I don't miss, and that's the weight cut.
Yeah, because of I'm assuming because of, you know, all the dieting and the way you have to cut, you know, the liquids out of your body, you know, prior to, you know, weighing nights. I was talking to Joe Giannetti and Tyler Diamond. They were telling me that the night before is just terrible and you're so uncomfortable with that. And you know, that even a splash of water is like the most refreshing thing, and it's like gold.
Oh, I know. You just wanted to like go jump in a cold pool or a river or something.
Oh my goodness. So you've pretty much transitioned out of the fight game pretty easily though, it sounds like to me, John.
I don't know. I mean, you definitely miss it, and you think back at what could have been, what should have been, this and that, and you see your buddies, you know, guys that you trained with, and of course you always want to see these guys do well. I want all my friends, all my training partners to just become the baddest sons of bitches ever. But it's hard not to see that and see certain people have these great successes, and you're kind of just like, shit, maybe I should have like stuck with it a little longer. So that will probably never leave me ever. But at the same time, I still feel like I made the right decision to walk away from it. My head wasn't in it anymore, and honestly, I'm kind of an outdoorsy type of guy, and I kind of just wanted to be in the woods more. I wanted to be outside and have, I guess, what some people would call or maybe what I would call a more normal life. I don't know if my life is that normal. I live in a I work as a carpenter and builder, and a little while back I renovated a Airstream. I gutted a whole Airstream trailer, and that's actually my home now. But I like it. I can pretty much live wherever the hell I want. You know, it's just hook up to my truck and take off, you know.
And, you know, the road can be a home. I think people will say that sometimes. I don't know.
I really don't travel. I think people think I travel more than I do. I don't travel a ton. I park my Airstream, you know, in the summer months, the warm months, I live off grid, completely off grid with no power or water. I got to run off a generator, and I got solar panels, and I truck my own water in from water tanks, and then in the cold months, I just, like right now, I'm actually in a horse pasture. My friend has a bunch of land, and they let me park in their horse pasture in the winter months, just so that way I can have power and water, because I don't want to be in, negative degree temperatures with no power or water. So,
how cold is it over there right now?
It's actually kind of warm today. I don't know. It's probably down in the 20s right now.
Okay, so you just said it's warm and it's in the 20s.
Well, it was warm today. I think it was like in the low 30s. It's probably I'll bet it's about 25 degrees right now, but that's not too bad.
That's not too, okay. So I'm originally from the Rio Grande Valley. I'm from Brownsville, Texas.
Okay.
I doubt you've ever heard of it. I'd be very impressed if you did, because not a lot of people here from that part of Texas. But anyways, have you ever heard of South Padre Island?
I have, yeah. I've never been there.
Okay, so there. Pretty much, just imagine there. Like I live like 30 minutes.
That's where I need to go visit.
Yeah, I'm like 30. I mean, I grew up 30 minutes away from there, and cold over there. And if any of my listeners from the valley are hearing this, are going to give me so much crap. But cold over there, man, 50 to 55 degrees. People are bringing out like cold winter jackets, like huge winter jackets, and they're like bundling up, man. And it's insane.
Yeah.
And then, I met some people up in Cleveland where, I was telling them these things, and they were laughing about that, just because they're saying that when they were in school, it could be negative degree weather and you're outside waiting for the school bus. Over here, though, it's 30-degree weather, or there's a little bit of slight snow and they start canceling school. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll take a Montana winter over Midwest or East Coast winter any day. It's like dry out here, so it could be, I don't know, teens and negative temperatures are just cold no matter what. But like 30 degrees out here when the sun's out feels awesome. It's like I got like just a long sleeve shirt on. That's it, So it's just calm. Yeah, well, there's zero humidity here, so it's a different kind of cold. I mean, I grew up in Tennessee and Georgia, and when it's like 30 degrees in Tennessee, it's awful. But 30 degrees out here feels pretty good. Either that, or maybe I'm just an idiot and I'm getting used to it. I don't know.
Oh man, first time driving in Cleveland though, like 5-degree weather, snow, ice. Scariest thing I've done. One of the scariest things I've done.
Shoot, I was just in Pennsylvania over the holidays.
Yeah.
My girlfriend lives in Pennsylvania, so we were visiting them out there, her and her family. And there was like 3 inches of just slush and just crud. And I was like, this is awful. Like, just get me back to the mountains. Plus, I was in the city.
Yeah, and it's so terrible. First time I was driving, though, in that, first time driving in snow or ice or those kind of like temperatures, driving, car in front of me literally just spirals out of control in front and just hits a post.
Yeah.
I said, oh.
Shit, here it'll be ice all over the road. I guess it's just a craggy, crunchy ice. But there's like tractor trailers flying by you at like 100 miles an hour. They don't even give a shit. So nothing shutting down for cold weather out here, that's for sure. But it's like an 8 or 9 month winter out here. But the summer out here is amazing. It's like
what's the hottest you've ever been at?
The hottest in Montana?
Yeah, or any of the kind of like of that like hot heat weather summer
well,
days.
Hell, I'm from Tennessee and Georgia. Like that'd get up well over 100. I spent a lot of time in Arizona too. And get 110 in Phoenix. That was awful. But as far as out here in Montana, like there might be a hot day here and there, but for the most part, it's rare if you see it in the 80s.
Yeah, is there a particular place you'd like to travel to?
Yeah, I'm hoping. So once the cold, I'm working a bunch right now, and I got a low overhead, don't have many bills, which is kind of nice. My money just kind of goes back into savings or travels or whatnot. But this spring or summer, I just want to take off. I'd like to go visit like the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah,
I've been up into Washington, but I really want to go see like Oregon, like the Washington coast, Northern California. So I might do like a little, I don't know, 6 to 8 week road trip out that way. my girlfriend, she's talking about doing it with me. She can work kind of remote, so I won't be working or anything, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'll take off when I'm taking.
Yeah. Now, is there any advice you'd give somebody who maybe, what I was going to ask is, somebody that's maybe a little bit hesitant about maybe stopping or doing something, or, just making a decision that's better, I guess, for their lifestyle, but is too scared to pull the trigger, John? Because I'm assuming that when you left MMA and you go try something new, I mean, it can be kind of scary. You're changing something that's been a part of your life. Like you said, you were wrestling since you were 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's, in a sense, it's very scary. Change scares a lot of people. Is there any kind of advice you'd give somebody?
I mean, I think I'm a different person. Change is what I love. Change. It kind of excites me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've always done what my heart told me to do, not to sound,
cliche.
Yeah, cliche, I guess. But I don't know. You're the creator of your own happiness, and if you're not happy doing something, change it. A lot of times it sucks at first, but when it's all said and done, you're usually happier for it. I mean, I live in a RV in Southwest Montana right now. That's probably not a normal life course for most people, but I get to travel. I get to kind of work as needed. I set my own schedule. So I don't know. My life choices have definitely got me to where I am now. And I think happiness for me is always the number one goal in life. And if you're not happy doing something, do it. Or change it. I mean, don't worry about what other people think. I think too often people worry about, well, what's going to happen if I do this? Where's my income going to come from? Where's this going to happen? What are my parents going to say? What are my friends going to say? It's like everything always falls in place. You're not going to die,
Yeah,
for the most part. But that's kind of how I look at it. It's like, well, I'm not going to die. Like, okay, I can't tell you how many. Well, before I come out here, I sold everything. I liquidated everything. I even sold my house, and I had a house in Tennessee. Just got rid of everything. I came out here, and I've been building. I started out building like movie sets. That led to like some really cool opportunities. COVID, of course, shut down a lot of the movie set builds, so then I had to go into just residential construction. But everything has always worked out, even though I've never really had a plan. I've just been like, I want to go. You know what? I love the mountains. I'm going to go live right smack dab in the middle of them. And here I am.
Is there?
I always say do it.
Or just shoot.
If you do what?
Just shoot. I mean, just go for it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, out of college, I think I told a lot of people I just wanted to fight, and I came from a wrestling background, but a lot of the people close to me weren't familiar with mixed martial arts or fighting, and they were just kind of like, what? I had some really good job offers out of college, but I was just like, no. Instead, I'm just going to be poor and basically. I mean, for a while, I even lived in a gym, though, just so I could train more. And that probably wasn't a desirable choice a lot of people close to me didn't understand that, but that was what I wanted to do. I told enough people that, hey, I was going to fight in the UFC one day.
You did it.
Yeah, I lost my UFC bouts, which is kind of a bummer. But either way, I had an awesome time in my whole career. I had a great career. I mean, the UFC isn't the end all to be all, and looking back on it, maybe at that time, even I thought that it was, but I know plenty of guys that have awesome careers that haven't had a similar story in and out of the UFC or never even touched the UFC, but have still been crazy successful, fight overseas or, just have a blast doing it one way or the other, so who cares? If you don't make the UFC, who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep fighting,
I mean, do what you want to do. I guess I don't want to sound cliche, but chase your dream. Do what you want to do. You put it into great perspective. You create your own happiness here, and that's something that I definitely hope that people gravitate to that, especially during these times. Especially with a lot of, I guess, in a sense, there's still unknown out there. Do you have anything else that you're looking forward to in 2021 besides that vacation that you're gonna take?
Man, I got that marathon March 7th. shed season starts up here in a couple months.
Yeah.
Where I get to go around and look for antlers. Which actually I make money on it too. So some of the ones I sell, and it's actually a business venture for me. People spend a lot of money on those antlers, but I just enjoy finding them. So I'd say for now, this springtime, yeah, it's that marathon, finding a bunch of deer and elk antlers, being in the woods as much as I possibly can. I'm going to work really hard these next couple months. And then as soon as it warms up, I'm hitting the road. I'll most likely head to the Pacific Northwest. If not there, then, maybe down south. I really would like to see some of those places that you're from, down in Texas and New Mexico. I want to see Santa Fe, New Mexico. That's another place I want to go to.
If you ever head to South Powder Island, you just hit me up and let me know. I'll tell you.
I will. I'll definitely hit you up. Sure. I need some advice on some good spots for a vagrant traveler in an Airstream trailer.
I'll tell you what, man. Tacos and Mexican food over there can't beat it.
Awesome. I'll keep my toilet on ready.
That's John Cofer, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. This was John Cofer that was coming on the show. I want to thank you, John. Thanks for your time, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. It was good reliving some old memories and taking a step back down the memory lane. So I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, John. Is there anything you want to let the audience know by any chance before we sign off?
Nah, man, just keep following your dreams. Do whatever you want to do. Don't let anyone tell you not to.
That is, again, John Cofer, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for listening. Thanks for, spending the time here with us here. Pretty much, going to be the second episode here of the new year. We're going to be on a roll here with Critical Condition Sports. To all my audience, all the fans, thank you so much. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.